Keep that anger. Right, Walter? Wait a minute. Walter agrees. Well, good morning, everybody. It's me, Mitch. And as usual, it's coming on 11 o'clock. I'm going to cook my first meal of the day. And guess what it is? Bacon and eggs. And today, while I'm doing that, I want to talk to you about a subject that may not be the most pleasant thing in the world, but it's about, I can't think of a delicate way to say this, about being just plain pissed off. We don't like to be pissed off. We don't like to be angry. But sometimes, if you're not upset or angry about something, you don't have the reason to be motivated to try to fix it. That's why I brought my friend, Walter, to keep me company while I make this breakfast. Because Walter, with that look on his face, kind of maybe just says it all. So what am I pissed off about today? Well, as usual, it starts with the morning news that I watched this morning, and there was a double header on there of absurd medical advice. Two news stories. The first one involving heart disease, and the second one involving a prediction that cancer rates are only going to continue to rise. And God, none of us seem to be able to figure out why all this heart disease stuff is going on, and all this heart disease and all this cancer stuff is rising. And they're talking about all the new wonderful things that modern medicine is coming up with to fix this. And we all know by this time that that's complete BS, that's going to fix nothing. It makes the problems worse. More and more drugs, more and more side effects, more and more everything. The answer to fix everything is so simple. It's right here and there. There's not enough money in this stuff. And when I see these things, I want to jump out of my chair and yell at the TV. It's the food, stupid! Watch this clip from the news.
You may have noticed people wearing red yesterday to help the American Heart Association raise awareness. This morning, Channel 9 anchor Kirsten Delgado spoke to a woman who's using her own story to send an important message. You don't see the signs.
Dr. Gloria San Miguel has worked in healthcare as administrator for 20 years. So having conversations about heart health are common. But what she didn't expect was having her own mother pass away from a heart attack.
It happened suddenly, and it was a surprise for all of us. She had done her medical checkup, and the doctor cleared her. She was spending 2 weeks with us.
Gloria's mother is part of a sobering statistic. 23% of women are less likely to survive sudden cardiac arrest when compared to men. Gloria says often for women, the symptoms go ignored because they're not what we typically associate with heart disease.
Chest pain and out of breath. For women, it can be a stomach kind of feeling or indigestion or pain or numbness in your hands or shoulders.
Her mother's sudden passing set her on a mission to share her story of grief, writing a book about the physical and emotional components of heart health.
Interestingly enough, when I was writing the book, I had my own episode. I was exercising, doing it, and I started feeling pain on my right shoulder. Usually it's the left shoulder because that's where the heart is. But it was numbness. It was weird.
After a battery of tests, it was found that her heart was fine, but she did have an increased level of a protein that's released into the bloodstream during a heart attack. She was put on medication and now is even more empowered to speak up.
Not everybody advocate for themselves or have that voice. So if the book or me speaking about it can save a life, that's what I'm gonna do.
Kirsten Delgado, Channel 9 Eyewitness News.
Medical experts say knowing your numbers means having your blood pressure, cholesterol, glucose, and body mass index checked. New data from the World Health Organization predicts a staggering 75% rise in cancer cases by the year 2050. The research also found that growing disparities are showing up now in access to care. Data shows only 2 out of every 5 countries provide basic healthcare packages for cancer patients. People living in less developed areas experience a higher risk of dying from cancer.
We're still fighting this persistent challenge of how to get the innovation to every person around the world who needs and deserves cancer care.
The study found that the main reasons behind the increase in cancer cases are obesity, tobacco and alcohol use, and the fact that people are living longer.
Unbelievable, isn't it? Unbelievable. Just look at the people. Look at the people in the news stories. Look at this cardiologist whose mother died and who's had heart conditions herself. Look at her. Imagine what her diet is. Do you think it's ever crossed her mind that maybe all of those problems are being caused because of what she does for a living and the nonsense that she's bought into? And that makes me angry. And that anger fuels my resolve. Because just being nice and wishy-washy about it and saying, oh, isn't that nice? Well, maybe this will happen. That doesn't work. That is not going to fix anything. The answer is so obvious to 1% of us. And the rest of the people keep turning to modern medicine to give them drugs to ease their symptoms so that they can continue to eat the crap that they're addicted to, making themselves sick and unhealthy and fat, and not realizing that it's the addiction that is causing them to find all these excuses and rationalizations and take these other paths that are exacerbating the problem rather than solving it. Why do you think cancer rates are going up? What do you think? It's the diet, stupid. When you get yourself to the point that you just want to scream at every unhealthy, diabetic, fat person you see, stuffing their faces and their shopping carts full of the poison that they're addicted to, you want to scream, and it's that anger in you that will motivate you to not be stupid. So get angry. Get a little bit pissed off. This is what you want to say to people. You want to scream at them.
Snap out of it!
I can't.
There was a movie called Network a number of years ago, and it was a great movie. I'm going to play a little scene from it here. So watch this.
I'm as mad as hell, and I'm not going to take this anymore!
That's the attitude you need to have. Excuse me while I beat my eggs. This is 6 eggs. Thank you. 6 eggs, about a half a pound of bacon. This is what I'm eating today. This ribeye that's been dry brining since yesterday in the refrigerator is going to be my second meal of the day. I'm going to sous vide it and sear it in the carbon steel pan. And that, my friends, is eating like a king. Why would I want to kill myself by eating anything else? This message needs to get out. People need to get angry. People need to get motivated. This message and the fix is not going to come from the top. It's not going to come from the United States Department of Agriculture or the Food and Drug Administration or the American Medical Association or the American Diabetes Association or the American Dietitians Association or any other association. It's going to come from the likes of you and me, Shawn Baker, Ken Barrett, all the great YouTube influencers, of people telling their friends, setting examples. So when it comes to diet, when it comes to you thinking about how to motivate yourself, how to stomp out those cravings, how to stick to this thing, feed on your anger at what they've done to us, at how many of our loved ones they've killed and maimed over the last 50 or 60 years because of their greed and corruption and ignorance and stupidity, all so that we can rationalize eating the poison we're addicted to. Keep that anger. Right, Walter? Wait a minute. Walter agrees. So I'm going to finish cooking my breakfast. I'm going to take the rest of the day off, and you do the same and eat meat.